let's get it rolling. So, the topic for the first keynote session is measuring digital transformation, and the topic is Massimo Marcolivio, digital business transformation expert and marketing manager with Dell Technologies. So, over to you, Massimo. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon again. Thanks for having me. Once again, thanks to you for the invite. Thanks for everybody for being here. My name is Massimo Marcolivio. I'm originally Italian, but since 15 years or so, I live in Switzerland, where I work for Dell Technologies. So Dell is a company that provides solutions for digital transformation. We work in IT. And I think like many of us in this call, starting from marketing at Dell, I progressively got passionate about digital transformation. It's a buzz that started some years ago. It's getting more and more important. And thanks to Dell, also working with a professor of IMD Business School in Switzerland, I developed some expertise related to this. And in particular, I try to focus on one topic, which is the transformation. The measurement of digital transformation. So just to put things in the context, I will be very fast with the slides, don't worry. So here we're speaking of digital business transformation. So there is a lot of misunderstanding out there. Companies think that they buy new technical equipment, they go to the cloud and they have digitally transformed. No, there must be a purpose and a result in terms of business, higher revenues, lower costs, or a mix of the two. Many companies just do the same old things with the new technology, and for me, that's not transformation. Things can change fast. I'm going to share some examples, but maybe they get updated sooner than we imagine. And there is a lot of gray areas because convergence is one of the key effects of digital disruption. So basically, it's a work in progress. I don't have all the answers. I have a lot of questions, hopefully good ones, and I'm happy to continue the discussions with all of you after this initiative. So what do we really know about digital transformation? When I was at IMD, I heard about many statistics. So the crazy thing that probably many of us don't know is that of the companies that decide to start a digital transformation project because they need to stay competitive, 90% fails. It's a crazy number because they spend a huge amount of money, involve resources, waste a lot of time, and then they fail. This is bad enough. It's statistical evidence coming from many sources, so the numbers are aligned. But the crazy thing is that when a digital transformation project is shut down because it has not worked, companies don't even know what really happened. So basically, the truth is that, and you see it in your companies or in the companies that you serve, for instance, as consultants, uh, they measure all kinds of things, but they don't measure digital transformation progress and results. So they don't know what has worked or not in an initiative, in which part of the company things worked or did not work well, if things went wrong from the beginning or just got broken along the way, and maybe who is responsible for a possible mistake. So this is where we are starting from. I was discussing this again with Professor Wade and IMD. And so the coming minutes are just about this, trying to answer this question. Is it possible to measure transformation? We cannot do without this. We cannot continue with having all kinds of dashboards, but not transformation. So we tried to come up with a methodology. Here you see the visual representation of that in the methodology. Please you don't need to focus in all the details. It's just an idea that I'm sharing. And you should try to read it, first of all, vertically. Basically, scanning a lot of case studies outside on the market, Professor Wade from his academic standpoint, me from a more modest but still relevant field standpoint, we have realized that a measurement must be holistic and start from the 4 areas on which every digital transformation initiative has an impact. You can see them vertically: operational efficiency, employee engagement, customer engagement, new sources of value creation. Basically, whenever there is an investment in a project of transformation, in a way or another, all these areas are touched. And each of these areas has a specific objective. Operational efficiency means that a company invests in transformation in order to save costs or become faster. Employee engagement, think about all the tools that companies give to their employees. It can be Salesforce, it can be something else. Why do they do it? To improve their satisfaction and ultimately their productivity. Same story for customer engagement. We are all overwhelmed with apps by all kinds of providers because these companies want us to buy more with them after we have increased our satisfaction and engagement with them. And new sources of value creation that looks like customer engagement, but is not necessarily the same thing. We will try to see an example. Some companies use digital in order to create entirely new business. And it's not only Amazon, which is the archetypal example of that. So this is the idea that we came up with studying the market. We thought we can measure transformation if we focus on those four areas. And for each of them, we try to identify some KPIs. You can see them here. So for instance, under operational efficiency, the first KPI, sustainability, is about saving energy or saving water and so on and so forth. Now, this is an approach, meaning that the KPIs can change from occasion to occasion, from company to company, even from industry to industry. But the logic should remain the same. So this is the proposal. And what I will do in the next minutes is for each of the four pillars, try to provide you with some concrete examples because all these ideas come from the field. It is very important. So I'll try to be fast and short and crisp with examples from the most disparate industries. So operational efficiency, as said, is saving costs and become faster in a way. Two nice cases are aerofarms. Aerofarms does vertical farming. I don't know if you've heard about those indoors farming that are opposite to the traditional farming on the land. So they have floors of plants that are grown. Basically, they used IoT and data analytics uh, in order to collect data, analyze data, and basically find a better way to manage their crop. Thanks to this, Aerofarm, thanks to these digital technologies, has managed to save 95% of water compared to a conventional farming and got crops up to 390 times higher. So you see an example, a saving, which is measured in a quantitative way. Completely opposite industry, medicine, healthcare. They need to run analytics about the status of a patient and the treatment the patient is going through. Time can be life-saving. They adopted digital technologies to shorten the time for running analytics from 24 hours one day to only 5 minutes. Other examples come from employee engagement. So we said employee engagement is digital tools that are supposed to improve satisfaction and employees and productivity of the employees of an organization. We've all been through that. A couple of cases that I found interesting are Unilever and Otto Motors. Unilever is even a pilot project, but it doesn't matter, it's the substance that counts. So they have created a chatbot called Una that works as a personal assistant to people, to the employees that need to navigate through corporate lives. So it's a tool, but it's a tool that has had a high satisfaction rate and high usage rate. So it's not just about having a tool. Think about many organizations buy digital tools and nobody uses them. So here we have a result that is measured. Completely different industries. Otto Motors, they produce robots, but not the cute ones, the square, the humanoid ones. Imagine those squarish, those boxes that vacuum your floor or cut the grass in your garden, stuff like this. But these motors work in manufacturing premises. So they have collaborated with Faurecia, is a global leader in automotive interiors. And the robots basically are co-workers, colleagues of human beings on the premises. They shift materials, they do things together with them and for them. Thanks to this, the incident of human beings on the premises has gone down to zero. what can be more satisfactory and important for the employee of a company? And this is again an example of digital transformation effectiveness measured. Last two examples, I think I'm good with time. Customer engagement. Now it starts becoming maybe less obvious, but still very relevant. The two cases are Yum China and DBS. Yum China maybe doesn't ring a bell, but under licensing, they operate restaurant chains like Taco Bell, KFC in China. So they created an app for mobile ordering. And as I mentioned at the beginning, we all get app of all kinds. An app is not an indicator of digital transformation. The utilization of the app can be the usage. So they created the app. It was downloaded, installed by over 8 million devices. Until this, nothing special. But the good thing is that thanks to the app, they managed to get an average of 200,000 orders daily. And this was reflected in business results. Let's remember what I said at the beginning. So there was a 15% revenue boost and a 30% cost reduction. Completely different industry from restaurants. DBS is a bank in Singapore. I think there are some Singaporeans registered for for yesterday and today's session. So they for sure know DBS is really a bank which is at the forefront of digital technology. Some years ago, they came up with the idea we can use technologies to reduce the time of wait for our customers. They call it the customer hour. For instance, when a customer is asking for a new credit card to be issued. Well, it works so well that at the beginning they thought, okay, let's see if we can reduce the unit of weight by 10 million hours. And incredibly, they went immediately up to 250 million hours. The last examples from field are about new sources of value creation. As I said, this can be less obvious and has overlapping with customer engagement. So I want to be clear. Digital transformation presents a huge opportunities for the organizations that understand that digital technology can create entirely new sources of revenue and profit. The first example is the New York Times. We all know New York Times. It's press, it's information of high quality. Now, the moment New York Times puts its information from the paper to digital, imagine a website, is that digital transformation really? No, it's just the utilization of a new tool. And by the way, it's nothing special because everybody does it. Here, the difference is that they understood that they could do new business thanks to this. So they created subscriptions in which they bundled the traditional press with products that were digital only, so were not coming from the physical world, and even standalone subscriptions for gaming, cooking, audio. So basically, they understood that digital could open new businesses. And in fact, in 2020, for the first time, the New York Times reported revenues that were higher from the digital business than from the traditional print operations. The last example is Stitch Fix. If you don't know it, go to stitchfix.com because it can be fun. It's if you want a fashion company, they sell their own clothes as well as clothes from big brands. Nike, Under Armour, Michael Kors, Ralph Lauren, you name it. You see them on their web page, on the homepage. But while we associate fashion to the human creativity, they work entirely with data scientists. Basically, you as a customer go there, you can register and you fill in an online form in which you tell them information about your size, your height, your favorite color, the parts of your body that you like to show or that maybe you prefer to hide, and so on and so forth. For this, for the data scientist, this is nothing but a way of collecting over 100 data points that are given to AI, and AI comes with recommendations. So AI suggests to the customers clothes. So in this case, we have a new way of doing business in which fashion is sold not thanks to the creativity of a shop assistant, for instance, but of AI. They can even, now you can even buy a style pass for $49 a year. So these are the four examples for four categories. I'm going to finish very soon. So The idea is that digital transformation can be measured. The idea is that it can be measured starting from the areas on which it has effects that are operational efficiency, employee engagement, customer engagement, new sources of value creations. For each of these, a company, an organization could create its own KPIs and measure them. We suggested 24 of them, but they are not carved in the stone. They can be adjusted and customized. Now, I cannot see the chat because I'm in presentation mode, but I let the moderator tell me. So we ran a poll on LinkedIn from Dell globally, trying to understand how companies feel about that. And here is the question you can put in the chat. So we asked, dear LinkedIn members working for companies, which categories do you use to measure digital transformation? This was done a year ago, summer 2021. I cannot see the answer, but try to guess. And here is the result. So basically, on almost 2,000 respondents, we got 43% saying that they focus on employee operational efficiency. And actually, it makes sense from the field reality. When I presented the KPIs to a big customer, to the CIO of the big customer, his reaction was kind of a shock because he thought he was in charge of the transformation of the entire company, but he realized that based on the objectives he had received, he was only in charge of operational efficiency, basically. For curiosity, we ran the poll again, narrowing the target. We tried to focus only on bigger organizations. We did it a few weeks ago and see, the results are still the same. Operational efficiency, very high. I'm not saying it's wrong, but this suggests that there is not enough focus on new sources of value creation, which is a possible missing opportunity. I'm just concluding. So if you want to measure, well, you should measure. If you or your customers want to do it, the first thing to do is identify all the stakeholders, because transformation rarely is in the hands only of one person. Check what data is available. Don't do things that cannot be done because you don't have the data. Define the KPIs before you onboard of a project. No after the fact. It's completely useless. You might fail or succeed without even know why. And somehow get started. Things are not perfect, but get started. The big recommendation though is the same. You have 4 pillars. Remember that all these 4 areas are impacted by digital transformation. So the suggestion is to measure with KPIs across all the 4 categories.
So any questions from the participants? So thank you, Massimo.
Thank you. So the slides I see in the chat, yeah, I think that the slides can be shared. I will create them as PDF. Anybody has tried to measure transformation in projects for themselves or for customers? I'm also curious
So
for myself.
questions from Massimo. So anyone who has measured digital transformation and anyone from the audience would like to answer this or would like to come live and speak to him.
It's not an easy one. So if somebody prefers to speak on a one-to-one basis, I'm around and we can connect on LinkedIn anyway. Everything is in my profile. It's
Absolutely. So
an
as he
open
says,
discussion.
these slides. All right,
So
sure.
without further ado, thank you very much and see you for
Thank
the
you
rest
so
of
much
the.
for joining in today for a wonderful keynote session. Thank you. Thanks, Massimo, for
Thank you
joining
so
in
much.
today and
Thank
covering up
you.
the wonderful keynote session. And thanks to all the participants for
Thank
listening
you
to
all.
him.
Thank you all. Bye and see you soon.
Thank you, Massimo. Looking
Bye
forward to
bye.
see you there.